let's talk about the bracket busters. What makes March mad are the teams that no one expects to do anything. And the bracket busters brought to you by our friends at Bass Pro Shops. And let's start with Pete. Who do you think is going to mess things up for someone who thinks they have the perfect bracket?
I think Minnesota. I think Minnesota is going to beat Texas because Texas have big problems with the point guard. Minnesota plays outstanding defense, quick, athletic, control the offense, real slow. I think they're going to upset Texas and cause some problems for those guys that pick the Longhorns to go a long way.
And Minnesota, of course, right after that would be up against Duke, so they could really bust things open.
I think so. I mean, Duke is, once again, they're not super athletic. They shoot 1,000,000 threes, and Tubby Smith is an outstanding defensive coach. So I think they get a chance to really upset some people, and I'm not that high on Duke. Duke had to win the ACC tournament, which they played great, but they made 1,000,000 threes. If those threes go cold, they're in trouble.
Yeah, the well could run dry. What about USC? They had to win the Pac-10 championship just to be in the bracket. Could they bust it up?
Oh, I picked them as my bracket buster. I actually have them going up against Louisville in the Final 8.
Wow.
I think they have sometimes it's about the matchups.
Sure.
And I think they have the correct matchups to make a run. Michigan State sometimes struggle to score. Kansas, who's on it, like Bill Self said, they're young. So you're talking about some team that has some experience. Dwight Lewis, who they're showing on TV, is the wild card. He's been in and out of the lineup and a little hurt. I thought he played well in the Pac-10 tournament. I think he can make a huge difference. He adds that third guy to go with Hackett and Gibson, and I think they can make a run in the tournament.
And it would be USC beating Boston College and then beating Michigan State.
Well, yeah, that would be let me tell you something. If they do that, DeMar DeRozan has been great this year. Early in the year, not so great, but 25 points in the Pac-10 championship game. So they are a team that can make a run. But I'll tell you somebody else. I look for teams that underachieved a little bit during the year, like in Arizona, that's got a couple of pros, like Arizona. Jordan Hill's a pro. Chase Buddinger's a pro, and they're a 12 seed. They're going to play Utah first. Luke Neville, 7'2", is going to find out what it's like to play a great pro, which really at the center position in the Mountain West, they didn't have this year. So this team, very, very difficult. They are going to be the team, I think, Nick Wise, a good point guard, a good collegiate point guard. I think Arizona has a chance. And then they play Wake Forest in the next game, who's been a little erratic lately. So I think Arizona could make a run to the Sweet 16.
Past Louisville? No.
I said Sweet 16.
Okay, Sweet 16, yeah. That's what it is.
Okay. That's not a run?
Brackets over here.
Oh, Sweet 16 not a run.
It's a great run. It's a good run. I wasn't sure where you were going with it.
For a 12 seed, that's a real good run.
A very strong 12 seed. I know they barely made the tournament, but Arizona, like you said, is loaded. Pete, what do you think?
I agree. When you have three great players like Arizona has, you can beat anybody. They got inside scoring, outside scoring. They get a young coach that's trying to develop his team, so they get a chance to do some real damage, I think, in this tournament.
All right, Steve, we're not going to stop at the Sweet 16. We're going to go all the way to the Final Four now, and let's get the Final Four picks. Everyone's been waiting for these.
I'm going out on let me tell you something. I am going out on a limb here. There's no doubt about it. In the East, I'm going with Texas. I thought Texas this year in the beginning of the year was a team to watch. They started out the year great. Then they started struggling lately, and that's one thing. Then in the South, I'm going North Carolina. That was my pick to win the national title from the beginning of the year, so I got to stick with them. In the Midwest, I think Louisville, I like the way it breaks down for Louisville when it comes to them getting to the Final Four. And last but not least, I'm going to make Jerry Palm really happy. I think Purdue, now that they have Robbie Hummel back, he's one of the most versatile players in America. He was hurt through most of the year. Juwan Johnson, one of the most improved players in the country. Etwan Moore, a great scorer. Chris Kramer, a great defender. This Purdue team can make some noise.
I think Jerry's on his way over here to hug you. He's smiling wider than I've seen all day. So you've got Purdue getting by UConn.
I do.
You've got Texas getting by Duke as well. Pete, what do you think of your peers' picks here?
Great decisions. I'm going to go with Louisville. I love Rick Pitino, what he's done this year with his team. They're super athletic, so talented. I think they're going to get to the Final Four. Memphis, best defense in 20 years. I've never seen a team play defense like these guys. Bruiser said before, long and athletic. And Tyreek Evans is an unbelievable point guard. He's done a great job. He's going to rise up in this tournament like a Stephon Curry, I think. Other team in the East bracket, I'm going with V for Villanova. I was an assistant there right around the Franco-Prussian War once again a long time ago, but I think they got the guards. Defense a little shaky, but I think they got a chance to make a great run. And finally, the team that I like that got a chance is North Carolina, the Tar Heels. Easy path. I think Lawson's going to be healthy, so I think the Heels will get there.
No, you got to work on your V, by the way. It looked like a U. Bruiser,
my suit's a little tight.
Your final four.
Well, I'm not going to go out on a limb like Lap did with some of the teams he picked, but I'm going to go with somewhat of the favorites because I think it's one of those types of tournaments. Memphis, again, because like you said, I think that they play great defense. Louisville, same thing. Pitt, same thing. All those teams play shutdown defense, and North Carolina, I think, just has a great run with who they have to play against.
All right, you got 3 1 seeds making it. Last year we saw 4 for the first time ever. So, guys, The picks have been made. Let's go watch some games. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us here for Bracket Breakdown presented by Bass Pro Shops. For Jerry Palm, Tracy Wolfson, Bruiser Flint, Steve Lappas, and Pete Gillen, I'm Adam Zucker. Go fill out your brackets. Enjoy the games. Tune into us starting on Wednesday for more coverage.